What channels do you recommend for, especially for early stage and bootstrapped SaaS? Like when I first got started, so most SaaS businesses want to focus on SEO because once you set it up,
Yeah.
you've just got all this traffic coming to you all the time. You don't have to, even when you're asleep, you've got traffic. Unlike ads, when you stop spending money, the traffic stops showing up. The tricky thing with SEO is that it takes time. Even if you know what you're doing, it takes time to snowball. So
Yeah.
the typical approach that I usually advise is like start off with cold email, and do that to get an initial kind of, get some sales conversations happening, get some initial traction, but you want to be working on SEO and content in the background. And once you've got those two things working, then you might think about paid ads or affiliates or something like that. But if the landscape has kind of shifted a little bit, what do you recommend now?
Yeah, the landscape has shifted a lot. I used to have like a spiel that I gave everybody, and I kind of have to throw all that out. So if someone wants to do it the legit way, so not the hacky, scammy, shitty way, but just like the legit marketing way, the main thing I would try to convince especially any bootstrapped founder of a SaaS business, I would say go do the founder-led marketing stuff. So you can do some SEO. I'm still doing SEO, so I don't think it's dead. But you're gonna pick another channel, one of the social channels. Unfortunately, you don't have a whole lot of options. It's Instagram, it's TikTok, it's LinkedIn. That's about it. There's not a whole lot more. I mean, maybe Twitter. Well, that's gotten kind of it's a weird place now. So I don't know. It's Instagram, TikTok, fucking LinkedIn. Those are your options. You have to play on one of them, and that's your branded top of funnel. You don't go in with your company brand. Go in with your personal brand. Build that up. Build your audience. Do all the social stuff, and then build an email list and SEO at the same time. You used to be able to just go all in on SEO. I'm an SEO purist. If I could spend all my time on SEO, that's what I would spend my time doing. Like, it's a good fit for me. I enjoy it. I used to have a nice reciprocal relationship with Google. I help you, you help me, I help your users. Everyone's happy. Those days are like fading, and I'm like, what? Well, Google, come on, work with me here. But now if I'm like, even for me, right? Like I'm spending a bunch of time on LinkedIn because like I had to admit to myself in August, I'm like, holy shit. I can no longer just, I love power laws. I love the power of focus. I love having one goal, one channel. Like you get so much further and you can reap all the rewards if you get up the power law curve. But now it's just so volatile. So Google still has, and search, it still has all those like long-term trade-offs, right? Where it'll take years and years and years for it to work. I always tell everybody like, okay, everyone's excited in year one. In year two, it gets shaky. All the executives and CEOs and founders start asking questions. And then year three, they usually kill it. Budget goes away. And I'm like, well, it's just going to get good at the end of year three. Like that's when you start. Years 3 to 5 is like, okay, now things are exciting. And all the major blogs I've worked on, there were 7, a decade in the making, right? Even when I worked on them a decade ago. So that's still true. But then on top of it, Google, the volatility in Google is just off the charts. And yes, things are more sane if you have like an actual business, an e-commerce store or SaaS businesses or something. But even there, like I have a business right now, or one of my clients, it's a really strong branded traffic. There's a real business behind it. Just absolute tons of social proof and brand proof and everything you could ask for. And rankings are wow, 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 wow. It's nuts. And it's not like I know when rankings are moving and it's deserved. And then I also know when it's like just Google, it doesn't know what it's doing. This is a Google doesn't know what it's doing. Things are just bouncing around all over the place. So it's crazy volatility. You basically, if you go into SEO, you're signing up for all those long-term trade-offs, which I think are fair and reasonable. But then you're also adding this. Google now feels, or SEO feels, it has some of the similarities of just social right now, the volatility of a normal social network. But also like none of the upside, right? Like social is brutal and it's volatile, but if you strike lightning, you go crazy viral and your life can change tomorrow, right? So it's all these like extremes, and it is a package deal and it can make sense in social. You sort of have like the volatility of the downside with Google without any of the upside, right? Nothing. You still have to grind for years to get any of it to work. But then you can just wake up one day and it's just all gone when everything looked okay. That literally happened to me in August. So that's when I got a little upset at Google. But yeah, it's a crazy time right now. Do the founder-led marketing. That's probably the most insulated way to do it. And then spread your efforts across at least 2 channels. Don't do 100% SEO. I can't. I mean, I'm not doing that anymore, and I really want to. So that should tell you something.
And you mentioned the hacky bullshit way of doing things. What would you do if you wanted to do that? If you were, a little less a little more morally flexible, shall we say, or a little.
All right, I'll put that part of me aside. If I was like some VP of marketing at a VC-backed SaaS company, and my CEO was breathing down my neck and was like, Lars, we need to double or triple MQLs by the end of next year, do or die. First sight, it's just like sigh. I'm like, oh, I've already done this. It's exhausting. I fucking hate this. But and then my follow-on thought would be like, okay, I gotta play, and the play right now is so stupid, but it's gonna work. Is go really, really hard on all the shady shit in Reddit. Okay, go full bore on Reddit. Go find some freelancer that knows how to be shady, but then also has discipline. Maybe it's a little agency, like a little boutique agency, a freelancer, someone that knows what they're doing. So you're going to push, but the discipline is really important, or you don't want to get caught. And what you're going to do with this, or you do this in-house, you can find a freelancer agency, whatever. The program that you need to get in place is you're going to have a couple of people watching your category on Google all the time. Let's say you're in payroll or, the document space or project management or whatever. There's all these community subreddits for like all these product categories, right? Go find the legit ones. You'll probably get a list of subreddit, a dozen or so subreddits that are worth watching. Some of them will be perfectly targeted. Some of them will be adjacent. Some of them will be kind of big, but still relevant. And your team is going to have an army of alt accounts on Reddit, just these fake anonymous accounts that they've built up over months and months and months with authentic, posts, giving these, like, looks like a real person, right? Who would ever know, right? You're not going to know. So you have comments here, post a few things there, build up some of the fucking Reddit points, all that shit, karma, right? You get all that stuff. And with this army of alt accounts, your freelancers, they're going to be monitoring your space around the clock. Anytime someone posts a question of like, hey, what's the best project management tool these days? One of your team is monitoring it around the clock. You can do shifts, right? And then when that comment comes in, that person's just going to pop in real fast and say, hey, I really love Trello. I just absolutely love Trello. Here's some specific reasons why. Not AI generated bullshit content, but like put some effort into it. It's got to go up within about 10 minutes of the thread getting posted. So you got to be fast. Then that person's going to post. They're going to ping the rest of their team. The team is going to go into their army of alts on Reddit, and they're just going to upvote it. Not too excessive. Just a little bit, just to get the momentum rolling. And then as that thread starts to get traction in that subreddit, everyone else, like Reddit's a momentum game, right? Like you get something to pop a little bit and then everybody piles on. It just goes and goes and goes and goes. So now that you have your top comment, it's being upvoted a little bit. Other people are going to come in. They're going to upvote that. The whole thread's going to get upvoted. And you're just going to do this around the clock. Now, the discipline part is do not link. If you don't want some asshole like me figuring out what you're doing and exposing the whole thing, don't link to anything. That's how all the asshole Reddit and affiliate marketers give it away. But if you just mention the brand name, you look like a real person. A real person isn't going to bother to link to the Trello homepage. They're just going to say Trello, done, right? So your team's going to do that too. And as a VP of marketing, I know it's going to be a pain in the ass. You're going to have to go to your CEO and say, hey, I can't track any of this shit, but look, it's going to just fucking trust me. It's going to work. It's going to absolutely work. And then what you're going to do this for like months on end. And what you'll find is not only are you actually getting just consistent brand recognition in all the subreddit like niche communities that you really care about, but on top of that, because Google wants to rank Reddit for fucking everything, your posts or the comments in relevant posts are going to start to get featured in all sorts of random stuff in Google. They're going to start popping up all over the place. So instead of doing all the real work like I'm trying to do and like build up properties and do the real SEO shit, you could just fucking just hack Reddit to hell. And then you get a twofer. You get the Reddit communities and you get all the SEO rankings, and it's 10 times easier than anything I'm doing. Probably a lot easier than that. It's absolutely nuts. It's insane right now. But that's like the growth play out of all the online marketing channels right now. That's the big one. Just go abuse the fuck out of Reddit. It's gonna work. And just, if you have just a little bit of discipline and don't add a link, no one will ever be able to prove it. That, and use like accounts that look legit. If you go through the effort of making sure your alt accounts look legit and a little bit of discipline, yeah, you don't even have to do anything else. That's how crazy it is. Do just that.
Hey, it's Ryan here. If you liked that video, please click the like and subscribe button somewhere down there and check out the full interview right over here. Go on, click it. You know you want to.